Grace and peace. This is Charles, founder of My Connected Church, and the newly developed and launching myconnectedchurch.com. A little bit later on, I provide some instructions. Would love for you to check out the site and actually fill out a contact card for us. But before we get to that, a lot on my mind, a lot swirling around in my head. So much I want to share, so much I want to cover and discuss, and we don't have the time, and I want to be coherent, most importantly. Certainly do not want to subject you all to what goes on inside here. It's not always pleasant. Fortunately, God has given us some clarity, and over the last couple weeks, if you haven't had an opportunity to participate in the live sessions or check out the recaps that are posted to my Facebook page, and also we are recording and putting on the church's YouTube channel, we have been walking through the process of moving from depression to elevation and how we make our way up that mountain. How do we scale the mountain of elevation and make our way out of depression? And God has been revealing to us over the last couple of weeks, the key is understanding where we are and recognizing and appreciating the moment in time in which we exist and the purpose for which the pressure serves. That depression is truly pressure, and that pressure serves a very particular purpose, and it's the recognizing, the appreciation, the understanding of that purpose that can help us to transition from this place of depression to elevation through the process, understanding, recognizing, and appreciating the process. And if you've missed any of the live services, I absolutely want to encourage you to check out My Connected Church's YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com and type in the search bar My Connected Church. You don't even need a YouTube account to access the church's channel and watch the videos. This Saturday we'll be wrapping up our 4-part session, moving from depression to elevation. So I absolutely want to encourage you to make sure you don't miss that. 10 o'clock Eastern, we'll be on Facebook Live, and we'll also be meeting through Zoom. So definitely want to encourage you to participate in that. And through this process, we've started to really get some insight. And one of the exciting elements of this session, of this process of moving from depression to elevation, is recognizing and seeing, experiencing real time the impact that our shift, our change, our progression of mindset has on our current condition, on our current circumstance, that in real time we have the opportunity to hear and embrace what God is saying, recognize what God is doing, and grow and progress and transition. And that's a very, very exciting place to be. What I want to encourage you with this week, your weekly encouragement this week, is to adopt a mindset that embraces the season of depression because it is moving you to a place of elevation. And in particular, I want to speak to marginalized people that find, I started to say yourself, that find ourselves in this moment, in this precipice of perhaps real change, real institutional, real systematic, real infrastructure change. And what do we do in this moment? What do we do in this season? How do we put the pieces together? How do we take the right steps? And I think first and foremost, it's recognizing that this season, that this time serves a purpose. And so we absolutely need to ensure we are bearing the weight, the pressure of this time by lifting, if you would pardon the metaphor, but by lifting with our knees. And part of what we talked about during week 2 of our current series, our current sessions from Depression to Elevation, is that in order to bear the weight, in order to bear the pressure, we have to lift, quote unquote, with our knees, borrowing a metaphor from exercise physiology, and essentially lifting with our knees is being in prayer, is praying, is seeking God's counsel, seeking God's direction for what is the purpose for us individually, what is the larger purpose of which we are a part, and how do we begin to move and transition in that purpose. And so we need to pray. I want to encourage you, a good friend of mine, a young man, he and his ministry, his name is Trendell Tutson. They are organizing a prayer rally in downtown Hartford this weekend, Sunday, August 2nd. There is a Facebook event. I absolutely want to encourage you to join me, to join those members of My Connected Church that will be joining us, and other people of faith and other individuals that are just interested in coming together and seeking God's direction, seeking God's counsel, seeking God's face during this incredibly important time in transition, not only for the United States, but this is an important time. This is globally. We are at a crossroads. We are at the precipice of something very exciting. I was reading about protests that were happening in Moscow, of people feeling abused and people feeling taken advantage of by systems of power, and speaking truth to power. And you know, it is happening, family. It is happening, and we want to be sure that we are right in line with what God's purpose is for this season. And so again, my encouragement is to bear the weight, bear the pressure of this season by getting down on your knees, by praying and asking God for direction and counsel during this time. In addition to joining us Sunday, again, I want to encourage you to visit. This is kind of our first official announcement, if you will. Visit myconnectedchurch.com. It is just a framework. We have not filled in all the gaps. We have not finalized all the links, but there is a landing page where you can submit a contact card, and that's what's really, really important. We want to have an opportunity to get connected, to stay connected. Whether you are a part of an organization, a part of a ministry, a part of a church somewhere or not. We are not looking to pull people away from where they go. That's not the mission of My Connected Church. The mission of My Connected Church is to bring us all together. We are all the church, and it is God's vision with My Connected Church to bind us together, to bind each other together with God. That is the mission, to build, invest, nurture, and develop for God's kingdom. And so help us stay in touch, help us stay connected by filling out a contact card. We're going to keep your information. We are not interested in selling your information. We are not interested in sharing your information. We are only interested in staying connected. And so if you want to be up to date with our calendar, you want to know when the next service is, you want to know where we are and what we're doing and how you can be involved and how you can pray and how you can support, the different ways that you can support the mission and vision of My Connected Church, please go to myconnectedchurch.com, fill out that contact card right there on the front page. You just scroll down a little bit, there's a nice welcome video. Scroll down a little bit past the welcome video, you'll see the contact card right there. And then, continue to check back. We are updating and adding elements to the site, and so we want to encourage you to continue to check back and look for new updates, look for new content, and ways that you can be involved. So myconnectedchurch.com. Pray during the season that we together move from depression to elevation. Love y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay in this fight.